name's Daniel, and this is the Bible, and I'm going to teach you what this is, how it works, how to use it. Alright, starting off, what this is. This is the greatest tool known to man. Divinely inspired, perfect in every way. You can find no better reading on the planet. And the beauty of how it works is that all you have to do is read it for the story. Don't read into it. Don't try to figure anything out. Don't try to decipher anything. Don't jump back and forth. Just take off reading and just put yourself in a character like you would any other book, and just enjoy the story. The things that you're supposed to notice will grab your attention right away. The things that are made for you, tailor-made for you, exactly at this point in your life, will grab you, and you will understand instantly. There'll be no doubts. It will be very clear. If you don't understand something, it's okay. Just keep reading. Read for the story. Just read for the story. Don't try to dig into this thing. The message is right on the surface. It's right out in the open. Our Father is brilliant, obviously, and He knew exactly how to make it foolproof. So anyone can do it. A child can pick it up and read it, and they can have all knowledge available to them. So, like I said, read it for the story. Don't try to decipher anything, just read it. I take a highlighter and I just highlight the verses that grab me just the first time. And the next time I read through, I took a different color highlighter, and then the next time a different color highlighter. And each time I used a different color highlighter, and it allowed me to see how the message evolves with your understanding. As your understanding grows, the message grows, and you learn more and more. You learn on different levels, and it's wonderful every time, and it gets better each time you pick it up and read. I'm always seeing something new. I never read a story and get the same out of it as I did the last time, because I always find new meaning. I always find something that's life-changing, and in a great way. I suggest reading the New Testament first, because that's the part that was designed for our generation. Once you go through the New Testament a couple times and you get the feel for how it works, then go back and read the Old Testament, and you'll see how it was the same thing for a different generation of people. They never figured it out. But it still works even for us. But like I said, once you go through the New Testament a couple times, then you can go back and hit the Old Testament. And there are prophecies in the Old Testament that pertain to our generation as well. So I definitely would go back and read the Old Testament. Do not skip it, because it is a great read as well. And some of the things that you're going to find out are how the story of creation and the theory of evolution all fit in this book. Everything goes along. There's not the conflict that people think that there is in this book. And I don't understand where all these arguments have come from. It makes me believe that people just don't really read this book. It makes me believe that people are just commenting on what they've heard other people say. And once you read, you'll understand what I'm saying. It leaves room for dinosaurs. It leaves room for everything. And you start to see that creation and evolution are one and the same thing. So, God's perception of time and our perception of time are two totally different things. The Bible tells us that God doesn't see time the way we do, and vice versa. So our perceived notion of time is meaningless to God. So what we call creation could have taken 100,000 years in our time. So it appears to be evolution to us, but it is creation to our creative energy, our Father. So I mean, it's all but that stuff is meaningless. Honestly, there's a much bigger message in here, and you start to realize that the arguments that go on over this book are pointless, and their only purpose is to keep you from seeing the real message, the real truth about who you are and why we're here and what we're supposed to be doing and what we're supposed to be, getting out of all this and what God gets out of all this. So, happy reading. If I can suggest a particular Bible, I'm sure God can make any of them work. If your heart is searching for understanding, you're going to find it. But this is the one that the Jehovah's Witnesses use. So the next time they knock on your door, don't just slam the door in their face. Get a Bible from them. Then slam the door. No, be nice to them. But don't really pay any attention to their interpretation in this book, because each person's interpretation is supposed to be their own. The message is designed to work for you at this point in your life, in your understanding, in just the way it's supposed to work for you. And it's going to work a little different for me. I'm going to understand different things at different times because we're at different places in understanding in life. So, but it's ready for you anytime in your life. And like I said, the message is always there and it's always perfect. So what can it hurt? If nothing else, no one will ever be able to lie to you again. Whether the stories in this book are absolutely true or not is not the point. The message is absolute truth. The message is absolutely true always. People say there are contradictions in this book. There are none. The message is always consistent. It's always loving kindness. It's always understanding. It's always patience. It's always long-suffering. And long-suffering builds character. And when I say long-suffering, I'm talking about lasting through hardship. And the reason this is important is because this makes us strong. This teaches us what it's like to be our Father. Because Lord knows He suffers with us constantly. All you gotta do is watch the news and you will agree with me. But like I said, the message is always true and always perfect. So don't worry about what anyone has told you or any of your current beliefs. This is not about religion. It doesn't matter what religion you are. Christ's message is true, period, no matter who you are. All you have to be is logical. And yeah, I just said logical. And most people would have you believe that the Bible is filled with fairy tales, but read the story of Christ. Read His message in His Word, and you will see someone who was in the same frame of mind as we are today, at an equal or greater intelligence level as we are today. No, absolutely greater intelligence level, but you'll see that He knew about things that are going on right now. And He was speaking on things that are going on in our society today to a people who didn't understand them. And He told them that you won't understand this message because I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about a generation that is yet to come. And that's us. And that's the reason I'm here. It's time for you to wake up and pay attention. Because it's that time. Now, as far as what to read first in the Bible, I suggest starting at Matthew and read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. This is all the same story, but as told by 4 different personalities. So one of them is really going to make sense to you. One of them you're really going to be able to feel. You're going to be able to associate with it, almost like a diary that you wrote. And our Father knew that this is, solid proof that we're talking about facts here, because remember the game you played in school where they tell a secret on one side of the room, and by the time it makes it to the other side of the room, it's completely different. And it's because people can't tell the same story over and over again. And this is 4 accounts of the exact same story, and all the facts are the same. All the facts are exactly the same in everyone's story. This tells us that it's fact, because 4 people can't tell a BS story and get all the facts exactly the same. I mean, that would take so much rehearsing, it's virtually impossible. The only thing that can be that consistent is eyewitness account. So that's fact. You'll see. But whether or not these stories were fact, the message is still perfect. The message is still true. Enjoy.